Hello everybody, I'm back for part 2 to the visit of my garden, and we will pick up exactly at the same place where we stopped yesterday. And for those that haven't not seen part 1 yet but would like to see it, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Okay, let's go to the other side then. Let's go back in the lawn. In the meantime, I'm sure you have already noticed how many walls made of stones I have in my garden. I love stones. They look so natural, and I want to have a natural garden mimicking nature, if I may say so. I can tell you that we bought most of these stones, and like the ones on the stairs and most of the ones on the walls. But I can also tell you that quite a lot of them, we brought them from the fields in our own car over the years. And my husband helped me willingly. He likes that too. But he always complains that, unlike other people that want to get rid of the stones from their own gardens or properties, we are unlike them. We bring them in. But I like these walls, and they provide shelter for so many little animals like toads, lizards, and other creatures that are part of nature. I hardly see them at all, and they don't bother me, but if I see them, I feel so happy. Here I have Myrtus communis, which I already showed you before. It has a beautiful white flower, and the whole plant has a lemony scent, and it's myrtle. I think you call it myrtle. The flowers have been pollinated, and now they've turned into these green fruits, which are not ripe yet. As soon as they get ripe, they will be bluish. This plant here, it's a little bush with beautiful pink flowers. I got this from seed from the dunes. It reseeds easily, and I like it. And this one is a lavender. It's lavender. It's now almost over, but still smells, and just by touching it. Over here we have an olive tree. It's like this. It does not produce olives. First, because it's too windy here. Also, we are closer to the sea. Also, this flower bed has too much water, and olive trees go better on a rock. They are wonderful trees to have in poor soils. Heather here, it's starting to bloom as winter is approaching. Oh my God, today there are so many flies, and they like me. Oh my God. And you can see here, and another type. This one here I got from a cutting from the wild. These ones are dark, have a darker color, and I got them from a nursery. And this is another plant I showed you before. It's called Cistus ladanifer. It exists only in the wild, only in Portugal and maybe in northern Spain, and it produces that beautiful white flower. This year this plant went a bit down because it was getting too much shade from the olive tree. But in the meantime, we trimmed the top of the olive tree, and so I expect she will bush up rapidly. It did not produce many seeds this year. However, I'm still trying to save some for a friend. The seeds are quite interesting. They look like little baskets. Once they open, it's like a little basket, and that's what the name of the genus. Cistos means in Greek, means basket. Some more armeria, like I showed you a while ago. And on this side I have a very beautiful bulb. I love this bulb. I'll put the name on the screen if I can find it. It's beautiful. I love it. I had 2 bulbs of this, but I guess the other one didn't make it. Maybe it has too much water here because there is a sprinkle here. This armeria is the nursery type. I bought it in a nursery. As you can see, it's completely different from the one I have from the wild. And this is lobelia. I like the blue flowers. Another armeria. And some here we have violets. It's violets. This is impatiens. This ground cover here is thyme. It can be used in culinary, but I like the plant. It's so beautiful. And in the spring, about May, it produces some flowers that are a deep pink, a very dark pink. So beautiful. Still can see some here. Can you see them? I hope it's focusing. Can't see anything. Oh, there's still one violet over there. And I have these plants that are low to the ground because of this acer here. This is Acer palmatum atropurpureum. The leaves are like this, reddish like this. Oh my god, I hope you can see. It's a beautiful bush. I love it very much. Look how nice. It's starting to fade because it will lose the leaves during winter, and then I will have to prune it to shape, because I have to prune it. For instance, this, I suppose I will have to cut this down a little bit. But the leaves are so beautiful, aren't they? And then here you can see my rosemary. This type here is in bloom all year round. These are the ones I'm growing for Josh. And aren't they beautiful? They bloom in the winter, they bloom in the summer, they bloom all year round. Just lovely. And I love blue flowers. But it's this type that is more floriferous. It's the semi-pendant type, because that one over there only blooms later in the spring, around Easter time. And then I have more violets. And then here I have a plant which is a sort of a Scotch broom. The flower is similar to a Scotch broom. And I'll put a picture of what it looks like when it's in bloom. going up again. Still have here another rose. This has very beautiful roses, but when it rains, roses, they suffer so much, the flowers. This is a magnolia tree. It will lose all the leaves now. Well, in the winter it will lose all the leaves, and then the flowers will come, and it's so beautiful with all the pink big flowers. This is another plant from the cistus family. I'll have showed you this before. It looks very bad now because I had to prune it dramatically and it's not yet completely done, because now I have to that was the first pruning. Now I'm waiting for it to sprout from below, closer to the ground, like there, and so I'll do another pruning, making the plant closer to the ground. Otherwise it would get too big, too high, too tall. And then on this side here I have the stinking iris. This stinking iris, I love it because of the not exactly the blooms. I like the foliage. I like the foliage very much. I find it such beautiful structure. But I've cut all the fruit here, and because this fruit, they are many fruits, and they stay in the stones, and they sprout and give me a lot of trouble picking up all the new plants I don't want. But so I've cut them all here, all the fruits. But on this side all the fruits are still there, and I'll leave them there because it will be very beautiful when winter comes. They have the reddish fruit all winter. We can see one here already starting to open. When it opens, I'll show it to you. This corner here, it's very sorry looking now because it's in between jobs. I have picked up all the plants that were there, and I'm going to plant there the agapanthus. I'm going to lift from the other bed, so I'm going to split them between the two flower beds. But this is the corner I'm intending to use to plant those succulents, big succulents Teresa brought me, once they are big enough, which will be within 2 or 3 years, maybe more. But this is the perfect corner. It's sheltered, it has plenty of sun, it doesn't have much water, and so it will be a good place. But I have to lift all those stones to plant the agapanthus this year, lift all the rest of these plants, and that will be the job when the days get cooler. Over here I have an hibiscus. It used to be a very beautiful hibiscus, but now it's too leggy. Anyway, I think that's the problem with hibiscus. They get too leggy. I have already arranged for a cutting here, and it's already rooted in case I have to pick this one up. But I'll give it another try, and when the days get cooler, I'll cut down here and down here and down here, and I'll be hoping that it will sprout from below. But the flowers are very beautiful. I don't have anyone really open today but I have pictures and I'll show them to you. These are dry, and this is dry. This will come. There are lots of them to go. Lots of them. Over here I have my strelitzias, the birds of paradise. It's 2 of them, and they gave me so many flowers this year. They flowered during late winter and the beginning of spring, and I had already cut all the flower spikes, and I have again these ones to cut, but I didn't cut them yet because I noticed for the first time they've been pollinated and they're coming into fruit, and so I'm curious about it. I'm curious to see, and so I'm just waiting a few more weeks to get the fruits ripe, maybe seed, although I'm not intending to use the seeds. These plants, I bought them when they were young, but they were about, let's say, 1 feet tall. That's 30 centimeters. And even so, they took 2 or 3 years to bloom. So imagine that, how long it would take for the seeds to produce flowers. So I don't intend to use the seeds unless somebody wants them, but I'm curious to see how they are. Never saw them. Here I have some more lavender. I've cut the flowers on this one, although I must prune it for the winter, but this one still has some flowers and I must cut them. I like to put them in little pillows to offer, to put in the closets for the good scent. I love this scent, it's so calming. And then here I have another coniferous. This is a Juniperus. I got it from a cutting from the dunes, but it's going a bit too wider than I thought it would be. I still don't know if I have to prune it somehow. I will have to see. Maybe I will gather together and stake them together. I don't know. I have to think about it. And here I have some more roses. They are preparing to flower soon, like you can see here. Oh, okay. This is this part here. All this was a lawn when we started this garden. We asked the gardener to do it, but then I started to make experiences, and it has turned like this. This plate here, you're probably wondering what it is. This has some water in it, and that's for the insects and birds if they want to drink. Oh, by the way, I also have here my collection of thyme. I have here several species of thyme, but they're not doing so well now. They are probably thirsty, although they have watering over there, but maybe it's their time to relax a little bit. I noticed that they grow best on around the stones, so I'll be placing stones around them, which will keep some humidity around the roots. So this is all the garden. The garden is never finished. You have always a different idea. You want to do something different. You take one plant here, you put them there, and you have to weed, which I don't like. That's the worst part of the gardening, is weeding. But anyway, I read once that you shouldn't have the garden completely free of weeds, because many plagues and many insects, bugs, bad or good, they are attracted to them, and it's not very good to have anything too clean. It's not good for the health of the environment. But of course, most of them have to be taken out. I also have this one here, which I still have to do a trimming. Over here I have my pelargoniums. They are not looking too good now. They have to be deheaded and they have to be pruned. This one is getting a bit old. I have already made a cutting. I'm rooting a cutting. I always do that every year, but then I prune the plant back and she revives and she gets bushier again. And so it will happen again next year, I'm sure. So you see, all this has to be pruned so that the plant will get, this is a pink one, but I will insert a little video I made a few days ago when they were blooming. And so you know this already. Over here I have my mandevilla still in bloom. It's also a trailing plant, and the flowers are so beautiful. They have such beautiful red, although some of them have been burnt by the sun, lost a bit of color. I love this plant here. This is in the daisy family. I like small flowers and it looks so beautiful. Although this plant is quite invasive. I'll put the name on the screen. Erigeron something, difficult name. But I always love this plant and I'm keeping it here. And you can see the flowers, they are not always the same color. As they start to be white, they are born white, and then they turn pink when they get the maturity. It's very, very beautiful. My cymbidiums, here you have already seen, and over here I have this flower bed with a peach tree, an enormous peach tree. I had some problems with this peach tree because the peaches are now still green, some of them, and I usually restrain the size of this tree in August because we don't have much space, so I have to restrict the growth. And besides, peach trees, they grow fruit on the branches they have grown on that same year. So I can cut the branches from last year. That's where the peaches still are. These are delicious peaches. They taste like roses. They are so good. Let's see this one. Still not ripe. But for instance, this type of branches, they have to be cut. Not many peaches anymore, because I like to come here and pick them up and eat as they are on the tree. But it's no problem. This is a hydrangea I have here, but although they say hydrangeas like shade, it's not true. This one does not bloom, so I'm going to take it from here and put her close to the others in the sun. I have a fuchsia here. One of these phases broke as the dogs were running down and broke part of it, but it's still here, and the flowers are nice. I like fuchsias. I had a very big one here with different colors, but we had a water leak here some time ago. We had to undo all this, and I had to take out the fuchsia, and I couldn't recover it. Another rosemary. These rosemaries are different from the other ones because they are pendant, also blooming this time of the year. Another lavender here. I have my strawberries in this corner. They like the shade. This is sedum album here. I have it everywhere. Oh my God, look here. Look here. Do you know what this is? This is a strawberry offset that is producing flowers, and it has a fruit. Oh my God. How interesting. This is how strawberries produce offsets, in a string like this. Okay, it smells good here. Smells good. So you know already? This place you know already. That's my nursery for succulents. Oh, by the way, look at this beautiful flower. This cactus has been in bloom since I bought it long ago. And these are the containers where I collect some rainwater from the roof, and which I use to water plants in the garden, and succulents, but of course not the orchids. This is the place where I have my orchids. You know already. This one. And coming back here, I have a palm tree. This palm tree here is an European palm tree. It's the only palm tree native to Europe, and it doesn't grow very tall. It's a small type of palm tree, although in the wild it can grow bigger than this one. Over here I have another Hebe. This one took about 20 years to grow this size, so it's very slow grower, but I like it. This is a rose bush. I trimmed it severely, but it will give me a second flush of small roses, small roses. Look, my mandevilla over there. Doesn't have too many flowers now, but it's growing. This is my salvia. And here I have Arbustus unedo. What is this? Would you ask? This is a bush that gives a fruit. I'll put the picture on the screen. This is a delicious bush, a delicious fruit, I mean, and it is used to make sort of a brandy characteristic of Portugal. And another one bush of these bushes here. This plant Right now I cannot remember the name, but this produces a yellow flower I like, and I like the color of the leaves, these bluish leaves. It has a strange smell. It's not a good smell, it's not a bad smell, it's strange. It's very strong, but I like it, and it is used to make perfumes. It's part of the composition of many perfumes to give them intensity. Some oxalis here, it's sort of a clover. Some more sedum album, it's still in bloom here. It's a good ground cover. And then here I have some more violets and another rose. Over there I have some more agapanthus. I have to lift them as well. They are so tight and crowded, they didn't produce much this year. And this is another rosemary. And then over here I have some more succulents, and just want to show you this bush. It's incredibly fragrant. It smells so good. The flowers are so small, but the perfume is incredible. It fills this part of the garden. I'll put the name of the bush on the screen. And there you go. This is it. This is my kingdom. That's where I feel happy. Hope you have enjoyed it. And I'll see you soon. Bye.